Well, here we are again. Here we are again. Welcome back for another week of my favorite tracks. I'm just going to share with you some hot shit that I've really been enjoying. Let's poop on this thing. First song I want to share with you is called Hydrant. It's by Jimmy Edgar. This guy is an electronic musician out of Detroit. Last year in 2016, he dropped an EP entitled Dreams Come True. Um, Dreams is spelled with a Z. So, on this EP is a song called Hydrant. And if I've ever heard good, slow, beautiful fucking translated to a beat, oh, god damn, this is it. I mean, this is it. The cleanliness of his instrument choices. He uses this pad that sort of sits in a higher frequency range but has volume and body to it, and it just sort of floats over but also around and inside of the entire length of this track. This you got to listen to this thing on something that can provide you with some sort of bass response, because it's just is big and bouncy and just fuck. It's just sexy, man. I just want to have sex with this song, is what I'm saying. Second track I'm going to share with you today comes from the Dirty Projectors and Bjork. The Dirty Projectors and Bjork collaborated on a little album called Mount Wittenberg Orca. You put these two sort of creative powerhouses in a room together, and you're bound to get something interesting. The song in particular that I want to draw your attention to is a song called Beautiful Mother. This track contains some of the most intense vocal acrobatics I've heard really on any recording. It's stunning what these ladies are able to do. There's a term for what they do in some of this song where basically they split up a melodic line and assign parts of the melodic line to different vocalists. So they sort of pop, 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 but they're sharing it. And it's grottling or some shit. Like, just get off my ass, okay? Outside of that, it's just a fascinating composition. It's energetic, sparse. When these ladies are able to manage this vocal trickery but then also balance it with these incredibly strong, confident, beautiful harmonies that slide from one chord to the other immaculately. I think you'll enjoy what they've done. Just check that shit out right there. Okay, the last song I want to share with you is one I've been enjoying for a long time, and one that very possibly you have as well. But it's Your Blues by none other than the Beatles, off of the White Album. Absolutely worth listening to front to back, along with the rest of their catalog. You know, over the course of their career, they experimented with a lot of really intense orchestration and, all sorts of multi-tracking and things like that. But for a lot of the White Album, partly because they weren't on great terms, and partly because they were all sort of exploring different things creatively, they a lot of the time ended up just recording separately from each other. So there's a lot of these disparate sounds on the White Album, which to me is part of what makes it so special. But this track, it's just all four of them. Paul says that they just wanted to get this really tight sound, and so they went to this little sort of box closet with plugs and inputs in there. And they all got in there and they just played this fucking amazing song from front to back live. Just the four boys in a fucking room rocking out together. And you can just hear it. Paul's bass playing on this track is just so fucking royally English, self-assured, beautifully composed, fat as fuck. You just feel the weight of the bass in the low end. You can feel the heft with which he's plucking the string. It comes through fully and clearly in this recording. It's really something to admire. Not to mention John's vocal work on this thing is like grunge before grunge. He's just fucking screaming and talking about worms licking his bones. I mean, if you're listening to Please Please Me from 1962 or 63 or whatever, and then you fast forward like 5 years to this, it's like, God damn. There's a moment after the guitar solos on this standard 12 bar blues by the Beatles track where they sort of end the solo, but then just interrupt you before you would traditionally think the solo to be over. And Ringo comes in with this fucking sexy, dirty, garbage fucking drum fill, this frung, 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 boom. And then they're back in it. And then you can hear John, not on the main mic, but you just hear the room sound of John singing. I mean, what the fuck were they doing? It's 1967 up in this bitch, and the Beatles are doing this crazy shit. I mean, this is the biggest band in the entire world, and they're like doing this insane experimental work, but within the confines of this beautifully conventional 12 bar blues. I don't know, man. They're the best to ever do it for my money. Best to ever fucking do it. Anyway, those are the tracks for this week. I hope you enjoy them. I hope they bring you some happiness. I will probably be streaming at some point in the next couple days. Stay tuned for that. There will be more content later on in the week, of course. Thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you. Thank you. And I will see you very soon. Mwah. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh.